Live from the ChenngNa Bears Best, it's the Kia Motors, the 34th Korea Women's Open. We're so happy that you joined us today as we bring you the exciting Korea Women's Open Round 1 action from the Bears Best ChenngNa City near Incheon, Korea. Mike came alongside with Eddie Bay. We're happy that you joined us today, and what a beautiful weather we have in store for you. Eddie?
Yes, the weather is a bit overcast, but the big story is that there's absolutely no wind.
And with the conditions so conducive for great scores, we've already had some really low scores posted by Jung Lee too, who now plays on the JLPGA after a very successful career on the KLPGA Tour. She came in with 6 under. And take a look at that score, Eddie.
Wow, she is on fire to say the least. Starting off that fast at 5 under par, it speaks paramount about the course and the conditions that the course is in right now.
And Sun Ji-won, who also had hosted the Korea Women's Open Trophy many years ago, she is also in the field, along with Daeyeon Lee, the defending champion. And boy, Daeyeon Lee and Ji-hyun Kim, they have one thing in common: all past champion of the Korea Women's Open.
Yeah, amazing that the field is so stacked with talented players and former champions. This is going to be a very exciting week for this tournament.
And we're very excited as well as that we have #1 player Jung Ko also in the field, who had a bit of a rough start down in Jeju Island, but she feels that she is ready to go. And look at the weather temperature.
Yes, for this part of the year during June, this is amazing that the weather is staying below 30 degrees.
Yes, and this golf course has always been a very tough golf course. And speaking of tough golf course, the Jung Lee too had no trouble with that, with 6 under par. And So-yeon Roo also at 5 under par after only 11 holes.
Yes, I think to see the scores this low, this early at the first round, we're set up for a very exciting week.
And some of these top players have not disappointed the fans, and that's one very unfortunate part is that we've not had the unfortunate part is that the fans could not be with us. But hope you stay with us as we bring you the first round action of the Korea Women's Open. Let's go right to the 10th hole with our defending champion, and she was stymied by that tree, but what a shot she did right there.
Great shot, fantastic shot. She had to bend it around that tree a bit, but not a problem. She's pin high.
Well, that's one of the reasons why she is a top player on the KLPGA Tour. This is the 34th staging of the Korea Women's Open. First played back in 1987. Daeyeon Lee trying to repeat for only the third time since Bo Bae-sung did it back in 2004.
Here we have Jeongeun, 66 meters left. She probably has a sand wedge in her hand.
She's going to have to put a lot of spin on that shot. Oh, and
maybe a little bit of a misjudgment in club there.
And she knew that she really had to spin that ball and land it just short of the pin. But unfortunately, she comes up just a bit short into the rough. And speaking of rough, the Korea Golf Association has taken great length to try to really toughen this golf course.
It certainly seems that way, but generally speaking, I think that course is very, very forgiving when it comes to the fairway widths. And even if they are in the rough, it's not very long.
And Ji-hyun Kim has done a good job.
And there you can see the speed of the greens. I think that's going to be the most difficult part of this golf course all week, is the fast greens.
And the fast green it is. We are seeing that the fast green will be at least running at about steep meter of 13 or more. And this is what we call the Bears landmine. Starts with the number 12 par 3. And that green is very narrow and it's got bunkers and hazards all over the place.
That's right. What a difficult landing area. You can see that the green is very wide. However, it's not very deep. So club selection and accurate distance is going to be critical for these players.
Exactly. And we recall that at the Honda Classic, that we call the Bears trap. And
yes,
we have a Bears landmine here at the ChenngNa Bears Best.
Yeah, certainly can be that way. This very, very easy to miss a shot here. Mishit your tee shot, you can end up in the water or end up in the rough like that. It makes it very difficult to get up and down.
So players will have to bring their A game when it comes to a short game out of the bunkers or even out of the rough. And from 2014 through 2019, we've seen 243 birdies. But look at those numbers: doubles and triples are almost as many as the birdies that we've seen on this hole.
Yes, that's right. I think that this could make or break a round right here with a missed tee shot here. Could change the entire landscape of the leaderboard.
All right, Hana Jeong, who's not had a really good start so far. And she find her at 2 over par at 12th par 3. Oh, look how hard that green is.
Yes, yes. I think that's a little unfortunate there. She hit a good shot, but just didn't hold the green.
Now we're seeing that flag is moving just a little bit, and that infamous the wind condition does kick in that ChenngNa area. And that's Jeongeun chipping out of the rough at the 10th hole. And that will be a very challenging par putt coming up for her.
Yes, I think she's going to have an uphill left to right putt coming up.
All right, So-Yeon Ryu playing side along with Hana Jeong. 5 under par, and that's just a fantastic score in this tough condition. And this is the first time she's played in a very long time.
Yes, it has. This is the first time I think I've seen her on TV.
This year.
That's right. Pretty solid swing. Great balance.
Looks like it's going left a little bit. Might take the slope, and the ball will trickle toward the hole, but not as much. And that's going to be a downhill putt for So-Yeon Ryu.
I don't think she should be too disappointed in that shot there. That was pin high, good distance.
Eddie, I think this is one hole that the players will be very satisfied to walk away with a par, won't it?
Yes, absolutely. Par is a great score on this hole. Especially if the wind starts picking up in the afternoon, which it typically does out in that region.
All right, this is So-Yeon playing side with Hana Jeong and So-Yeon Ryu. And started off with a bogey the first hole, but has been able to settle down nicely. Now selected to go with the 8-iron.
Another solid swing. I'm surprised she chose an 8-iron, but apparently she chose correctly. Wow, that's a big 8-iron for these girls. 160 meters.
Yeah, that's a very, very good score. I know it's a downwind, a downhill a little bit, but still, it's just amazing how these players are able to negotiate these tough holes. Ji-Yeon Kim for birdie to go 2 under. And just tentative with that downhill putt.
I'm surprised that ended up short, as fast as these greens are.
All right, Sun Ju-an, the winner of the Korea Women's Open back in 2007. Been over a decade since she has won at this tournament. And a long putt, and that should be a very good par for her to walk away. Sun Ju-an, who's won 28 times on the JLPGA after a very successful career on the KLPGA Tour.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? What an incredible record. She wins almost 1 out of every 3 tournaments out there.
Oh, and it is just unfortunate that she just missed that putt. And it's quite similar to what Jung Lee had for the 9th hole, which was her 18th hole for the day, as she missed the bogey putt.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty common thing to happen if you're going to miss the greens. If you notice that the rough around most of these greens are pretty deep, and as fast as the greens are, it's going to be very tough to get up and down.
Just like we saw at the 42nd KLPGA Championship at Lakewood Country Club, the ladies are taking enormous amount of time, taking no chances for these 3-footers downhill.
Yeah, you've got to be careful on these downhill putts.
That's a very good par putt. So she'll remain at 1 under for the tournament. Well, let's go to 12th hole, the par 3, and we find Hana Jeong. Very delicate chip shot downhill.
Yeah, she's got to be very careful here. Yeah, notice she landed on the fringe, and that might be a pretty good shot. Very, very well done.
And that's not guaranteed for a par putt. You still have to work a little bit hard for that. Now back to the 10th hole, Jung Ko with her second shot with a little bit of downwind. Might even try to go for it in 2.
Yeah, she certainly has a distance to do that.
And
Just short.
just short, but I don't think she would be too be upset with that result. Shouldn't have any issue with that chip shot, would it?
Well, hopefully she has a good lie in that rough. That's a very, very grabby type of rough. The grass down there is can swallow up the golf ball and make you have to swing a lot bigger than you typically would.
All right, Hye-jin Choi also getting ready for the second shot. Try to get there in 2 or get as far down as possible.
Looks like she's got a little bit of a downhill lie.
And took that ball way out to the right side, and that's exactly what happened. Finds the great side bunker, but that might even be a better position than into the thick rough, Eddie.
I think so. I would much prefer to be in that sand, and I think that she definitely missed it on the right side. She didn't short side herself. She's got all that green to work with.
Exactly. All right, So Yeon-roo with the birdie opportunity to go 6 under to try to tie Jung Lee 2.
This is going to be a very fast putt.
Look how barely, gingerly touched that putt.
Oh.
And just slides by and still going.
Yes, that's how fast these greens are this week.
And as these greens get dried up and wind continues to dry it out, it will get even faster.
Oh, I think by Sunday the greens are going to be super, super fast.
All right, we have Jeon on the 11th hole after missing that par putt. And this is a hole that you have to really be very careful not to pull that shot. There's water hazard on the left side. Have done a good job, and she's really hit it long down there.
Yeah, that 10th hole for the players here is a hole that comes from the Liam Chung International Country Club in Thailand.
All right, Bomi Lee trying to get something going here on the 10th hole, and just staying right there. That's good for her. Bomi Lee was playing for the 3rd time here in 2020 in the Korean Ladies Tour, and this being the national title tournament. She's not had much success this year so far. And this is Soyeon.
Very delicately just slides by, but that, again, see how quickly the balls roll on these greens.
She'll remain at level par for the tournament and will make the turn to the 13th hole, which is also a very difficult hole.
Yeah, it's good to get out of the par 3 12th there with a par.
All right, Jung Ko, let's see how she does it here.
Very nice shot. Very well played.
Only the 2nd tournament that she has played so far in the last 6 months, and she feels that her tournament condition feel is starting to come back. Let's go back to the 12th hole. And Somi Lee getting ready for her tee shot. She is selected to go with a 7-iron.
Oh, great rhythm. Oh, beautiful tempo. And a great shot.
with the great swing, great result. Will also have a downhill putt, similar to the line that Hana Jeong had when she chipped off the green.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit downhill, right to left.
Jung Choi from the green side bunker in the 10th hole. Not the kind of result that she was looking for with her level of play, that she probably would have liked to have that ball a little closer to the hole going uphill.
That's right.
All right, so Jung Lee, who won at the E1 charity tournament, wire-to-wire basis, currently 2 under par.
Looks like she's lost it a little bit left.
And the slope is helping her a little bit, and she will also have a very delicate downhill putt. We have not seen a single tee shot that's come below the hole because the players are just so afraid to get that ball onto the green.
That's right.
Don't want to deal with that hazard at all. Now this is Bomi Lee off the green from the apron.
Wow, and very aggressive with that chip.
All right, Bomi Lee will have that for a par to remain at even par for the tournament, playing alongside with Jung Choi and Jung Ko. This is Jeongeun Kim from the rough on the 11th hole. Has done a good job, even though it might have had a little bit of fly lie.
Yes, yes. The ball landed right next to the hole, but released a little bit. But still, she'd be putting for birdie.
All right, Diane Lee, defending champion. Just visually, that bunker really just comes into play. There's not a whole lot of space behind the pin as well.
That's right. The club selection is ideal here. Oh, what a great shot.
It's one of the reasons why she has done well. And she won last year with a score of 4 under par. And we probably will not see that score be the winning score as the ladies are continuing to play so well.
Oh.
Jung Choi
Had a good look at birdie there, but yeah, just ran it by. I think there was just a little too much speed on that. Took the break right out.
All right, Jeongeun. Sounded like a very crisp contact.
Yes, you'd
And
expect
it
that.
was.
You'd expect that to be close there from 71 yards.
So it really helped to really get that ball as close to the hole as possible to spin that ball as much. All right, this is Jung Ko. And
Oh, very nice birdie.
would you expect anything different? So 1 shot out of the lead, Jung Ko with 5 birdies with no bogey. All right, so Yeon-Roo also at 5 under on the 13th hole. And looking tentatively to the left side and found the fairway bunker. That's the one area that a lot of players tend to find themselves.
Yeah, that bunker completely comes into play off the tee here.
And if you go even farther left, and that'll be an OB along the fairway fence.
Yes.
Yeah, and the course fence, and on the right side. And if there ever was a first to emulate, Jung Choi and Jeongeun Kim are the 2 swings that you definitely would love to show them.
Oh, for sure. Model golf swings. Great positions throughout.
All right, here's the #1 player in the world, Jung Ko, getting ready for her second shot on the 11th hole.
Solid swing.
And just sounded beautiful, too.
See if she can spin it. Okay.
And one of the problems that these players are having is the wind started to kick up a little bit, as we have noticed with the The flag's starting to fly quite hard. And this is So-Yeon Roo for birdie to go 6 under par to tie Min-young Lee 2. And she has
And
done it.
Wow, what a great putt.
All right, So-Yeon Roo climbs on top of the leaderboard along with Min-young Lee 2, who finished early this morning with the birdie on the last hole. And that leaderboard is starting to stack up, and boy, these ladies didn't waste no time in coming out of the gate and climbing right on top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, the weather was very favorable this morning. This is exciting.
All right, defending champion Diane Lee getting ready for her tee shot on the 12th hole, par 3. This is the start of the Bears landmine. 7 iron. Oh, she has pulled it way left. And that is going to be a very difficult bunker shot, Eddie.
Yes, that's not the bunker you want to be in. That's she's facing a downhill sloping green from that point forward. So, you know, if she gets it within 3 meters of the pin, I think that would be a great shot.
I would give her maybe a 5 meters, and I think she would be very happy with that.
Yeah, very well could be.
All right, this is Jeongeun Kim. Also won this tournament back in 2017. Also going with a 7 iron.
It's got to hang on, catch the green there. Okay.
All right, that's gone a little beyond where Hana Jeong was. And I think the wind is starting to play a little havoc out there.
Yeah, I think the wind is starting to pick up. You can see the trees moving a lot more than they were earlier today.
All right, Jeongeun. And the players really having difficulty judging whether this is a downwind or the wind is into your face. The club selection is absolutely a premium. All right, Jeongeun. Oh, she elects to go with the 8 iron.
And I think after seeing the two previous players, I think go long. Yeah, she's definitely made the right choice there.
Very good selection. And although she'll have a bit of a side hill, downhill putt. And this is one of the reasons why on any national title tournament, you have to stay patient. You cannot get ahead of yourself or get upset.
Absolutely.
Bomi looking for that birdie, and she has.
Great putt.
Well, making sure that she doesn't step over the player's line.
Oh,
All right,
what a great.
She is 1 under par.
Yeah, that was a great putt.
All right, this is Min-sun Kim 5. A little disappointing 1 over par. Par 5, 14th hole. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Nice shot.
A lot of spin that she has put on.
Yeah, that certainly is a little surprising considering how long she hits the ball, that she can't get under par.
So she's had a very up and down day today. Now Jung Ko. Downhill birdie putt.
Left all the way. It's not going to break back that much. I believe, a bit of a misread there.
Well, she'll tap that in for a par to remain at 5 under, only a shot out of the lead of So-Yeon Roo and Min-young Lee 2. Jung Ko, who's made a change with her swing coach recently.
Certainly has, and also she's bulked up quite a bit. From what I understand, the workout routine that she's been doing in the off season has been dramatically changed her shape of her lower body. So she's definitely much stronger now.
And this is Yerim No from the States. And Jin Choi now looking for a birdie to go 3 under par.
It's looking good. Oh, just passes the right side there.
Hye-jin is not missing by much, just missing the mark by an inch or two. So she'll move on to the 12th hole. All right, here's the defending champion on the 12th hole, one of the most difficult bunker shot you'll ever see. And oh, look at this.
What a great shot.
Look at
that
this. Unbelievable bunker shot out of there. Well, I take it back. I think she probably surprised everybody, including herself, to get within 2 meters.
That's right. That's right. Now, that was an awfully big swing for that ball to go fly such a short distance. It was a great bunker shot. Oh,
and
look at
an
this.
amateur player doing very well, thank you, with that birdie. I know that she's had a difficult round, but only the second birdie of the day, but she is one of the top amateur players that are playing in this tournament.
Oh.
And this won't be the first time we'll see this kind of a miss.
I don't think so. You're going to see quite a lot of that, I think. I'm afraid.
I think the Korea Golf Association has done a pretty good job in setting up a very treacherous course condition. Now this is Yeti No for her birdie on the 14th hole. Missed opportunity there. And she'll remain at 1 under par. All right. Eddie, what do you have here, Jihan?
Yeah, fast downhill chip here. Find the right spot to land the ball, and hopefully it runs out. And she's done a pretty good job there. It's a good recovery.
Yeah, and I think you need to really just be satisfied to walk away with a bogey and make sure that she just walks away with a bogey. And it was a bit of an unforced error in their second shot. Just kind of dampened her game. And this is Min-sun Kim 5.
Very nice.
All right, one of the seasoned veteran on the KLPGA Tour. And Min-sun Kim 5, her knock has always been that she makes the long putts, but always tends to miss the very easy short putts.
Yeah, isn't that ironic?
All right, Giano, if she can get a birdie here, would gain at least a shot or two amongst her players that she is playing with.
Oh, for sure. I think birdie on the 12th here would you definitely gain more than a shot on the field. Very delicate.
Has she done it?
Oh.
And still rolls by, and that's almost the same distance that Sun Juan had for her par putt. So she'll have that for par to remain at 2 under here at the 12th hole. All right, so Yeonryu with the long second shot and finds the rough. So she goes from rough to rough.
And that's the second tee shot that she's had that didn't find the fairway. So maybe a little issue with the driver today. But you wouldn't know it looking at her score.
That's one of the reasons why she is such a remarkable player, currently ranked in the top 20 in the world. This is going to be a very difficult downhill par putt for our defending champion, Diane Lee.
Those downhill right to lefters are very, very tricky.
So these par threes are just throwing a lot of jabs at these ladies.
I think so. You just got to stay patient. Just brush it off. Move on to the next hole.
All right, Sun Juan for a birdie on the 14th, 13th hole. And she'll have to settle for a par in this hole. Staying patient. I'd like to see that happen. I know that she, after she missed the E1 charity tournament a couple weeks ago, that she went back and saw her coach Trying to get her swing fixed. All right, Jihyun Kim. After that, a little chip shot mistake. A very difficult par putt. And this will be for bogey.
Just right edge. Get your pace right. Okay, nicely done.
All right, good to see her walk away with a bogey. And if there ever was a good bogey, that's right there.
Indeed it is. Very difficult to recover from a mistake like that on a short shot, especially on a chip shot.
Now you see So-Yeon Roo taking several clubs and trying to size up the club depending on how thick that rough is.
Yeah, this is the difficult thing about those shots. You just don't know how the ball's gonna come off the face in that deep rough.
Exactly, and with the pin tucked so much in front, only about five steps, paces from the front edge of the green. She has about 105 yards.
Wow, it's a pretty hard swing out of the rough.
That is just a fantastic. Good to see that. And this is one reason why she is currently. So she got to go alone. Top 4 to 7 under par. Back to the 12th hole on the par 3. We're seeing difficulty now. Lee. That long putt. Just go it out. Nice rhythmic swing.
Oh, a little
and
short.
I'm not sure if that has really made it over the green or over the hazard.
Yeah, I don't think that was a missed club selection. I think that might have been just a mishit.
Or maybe the wind may have played a little trick on you. All right, Jung Ko.
Let's see what she chooses to go with. My guess is an 8-iron.
Well, your guess is right. Another 8-iron along with Bomi Lee, who's also gone with the 8-iron. If you're going right at it, you need to hit as hard as you can. And she has done it nicely. Oh, look at it.
Excellent shot. Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, you cannot take too much chance on this hole. As we say, par is a good score in this hole. All right, so you're on. And that's another good shot.
Yeah, great shot.
Set up her birdie putt coming up. Playing alongside with Hana Jeong. And this is Hye-jin Choi. Wonder if she'll also go with an 8-iron, Eddie.
Yeah, I think that's a very high possibility.
So all three players have selected to go with the 8-iron. One's on the green, one's almost in the hazard. This looks like a really good shot.
Yeah, taking it very high. Hopefully it lands soft. Oh, excellent. Pin high.
And this might have been the only shot that we've seen since coming on the air, leaving it below the hole.
Yeah, certainly it does.
It's just indicative of how good, how talented Hye-jin Choi is. All right, let's look at all the shots that we've seen so far. We certainly saw that bunker shot by Daeyeon Lee. A lot of shots have landed either a little past the hole or beyond.
And the fact that there's only one player from the bunker today, just a few minutes ago, is pretty remarkable.
All right, Bomi Lee hoping that ball have stayed out of the water hazard. Let's go Jeongeun. Looks like a pretty good tee shot. Oh, and again, that's the same bunker that Soyeon-roo was, but the left side of the fairway bunker is definitely a place a lot of players will end up.
Yeah, that bunker definitely comes into play today. I think we're going to see a lot more players in that bunker, especially if the wind is going to pick up a little bit.
All right, checking the leaderboard again is Soyeon-roo currently at 6 under par along with Jung Lee. And Seung-hee-no at 4 under par with Ji-young Park at 3 under par. And some of the top players that we have seen is and Ian Cho, the Rookie of the Year award winner from last year on KLPGA Tour at 2 under par, finished early in the morning. And Sonu Bae, 1 under par after 15 holes. And we'll be back after these messages.
홀 이미자.
오, 방향 좋은데요.
잘 들어갔고요.
오, 가야 돼요.
홀 왼쪽입니다.
12번 홀이 그 왼쪽 앞핀인데요. 핀을 지나서는 굉장히 빠른 스피드의 내리막이기 때문에 저 플라이어 라이에서 공략이 참 어렵습니다.
오, 야, 컨택이 깨끗했나요? 다시 마지막 주 이미자.
오, 좋아요.
들어갑니다.
야.
네, 나이스 버디. 야, 이건 정말
보너스 버디인데요.
네. 홀 최혜진. 오,
좋아요.
좋은데요? 오, 들어! 야, 깃대를 맞고 나옵니다. 아, 이 정말 아깝네요.
기대가 공을 막고 있어서 옆으로 튕겨내네요. 공을 떨어뜨릴 공간이 굉장히 좁습니다.
오, 좋은데요? 야, 들어갔어요! 유혜란의 샷이글. 야, 11이글이 나왔습니다.
네.
가장 어려울 것 같은 위치에서 이런 극적인 장면이 나오네요.
지금 그 임팩트도 아주 자신 있게 들어갔어요. 아주 잘 치기도 했지만 행운도 약간 따라주는 기분 좋은 이글이었습니다.
All right, we're back to ChenngNa Bears Best for the first round action of the 34th Korea Women's Open. Currently led by Min-young Lee, too, who finished with a 6 under 66. But Soyeon-roo had no problem as coming out of the gate real fast and is currently 6 under par. And in top place, and Jung Ko, number 1 player, also right behind those two players at 5 under par.
Look out for those two players. Once they get up there at the top of the leaderboard, they generally tend not to fall back.
And Leon Kim and Woojin Sung also at 5 under par along with Jin Ko. But right behind them also is Se-young Kim and Hee-jung Lim, also finished at 4 under par. And that's Bomi Lee with a very nice shot. And I think she was very fortunate not to have gone in the water hazard.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how that ball stayed up. Most balls that end up in the front of the green roll right back down into the hazard, so very fortunate for her.
It was Ala's Fred Couples at the 12th hole and at the Amen corner at the
Masters,
Augusta
yeah.
National at the Masters. And this hole also happens to be the 12th hole. Ball trickling away from the green.
I think she could take a putter on that shot there, so not too much of a problem.
All right, so you're on. Look to get a birdie here to go level par. Oh. All right, Jung Ko for her birdie on the 12th hole. I don't think she hit it hard enough.
Yeah, that was just not the right speed there, and she knows it.
That's just a scary putt going downhill. We saw Jeon Oh going into fairway bunker with her tee shot, but Soyeon Ryu had no problem with this tee shot.
Pretty straightforward shot.
Oh, it
wow.
almost went in.
Almost flies it straight into the hole.
All right. So we've seen one birdie and almost witnessed an eagle out of that fairway bunker. All right. We haven't forgotten about Hana Jeong, who is trying to right her ship. Currently 1 over par, and Choi, probably the best tee shot that we have seen on the 12th hole.
Oh, just slides by the left side. Wow, she's got a pretty good tester there for par.
If there's one thing that we will not see is Choi coming up short on her putts. She is so aggressive with her putts.
Indeed, she is.
All right, let's go to the 14th hole, par 5. Soyeon Ryu for a birdie for outright lead. And that is not the type of putt that we normally expect out of Soyeon. It just didn't seem like a really good putting stroke there, Eddie.
Yeah, that's definitely a putt that's in her range. She usually makes those, but yeah.
Back to 12 with Choi for a par putt.
Okay, nicely done.
All right, Jeon off the green. The caddy. He's really trying hard to find the right line. Now back to 12 with Bomi, who was incredibly fortunate that her ball didn't find the hazard.
Yeah, what a great par that is.
And that's the kind of break that really need to really get the game turned around.
Oh, of course.
All right, Jeon Kim, the winner of 2017 Korea Women's Open. And I think she will be very happy to walk away with a par there.
Yeah, that was a good touch. Very good lag roll up there.
Jung Ko. Solid stroke there.
Yeah, par is always a good score here on the 12th.
And this is one of the reasons why Jung Ko is the #1 player in the world. This is Jung Lee, who won wire to wire at the E1 charity tournament 3 weeks ago.
And another great shot there. Definitely in birdie range.
Now look out. When she gets hot, she could really get hot in a hurry. This is Jung Lee.
Looks like the caddy and player are having a little bit of a disagreement on the line there, but hopefully she chooses the right one.
But it seems like a little bit of a side hill lie. Tough to get a birdie to get some momentum going as she approaches the par 5 14th hole. This is for birdie. Has she done it?
Oh, that's too bad. Maybe a little more speed. It might have held the line a little longer.
Exactly. Well, she walks away with a par, but I think her game is there. I don't think she is doing anything wrong, not really forcing the issue, and she's doing quite well.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Sun Ju-an with her third shot on the par 5 14th hole.
Oh,
And may have put a little more spin than she would have liked.
but not bad. She'll have an uphill putt for birdie.
All right, almost holding out of the fairway bunker, Jeongeun. This is not an easy birdie putt either. Oh, and confidently puts that in. So a little bit of struggle from 10th through 12th hole. Finally puts a little smile on her face. All right, so Lee. And this is her third shot.
Right over the top of the
And
pin.
right over the top, and has done a good job. And Somi Lee, caddy, running back to try to grab the towel that he had left behind. And Jeon Kim just walk away with the par. That's a good par putt there. A lot of players we're seeing at a level par. Some top players' names, along with Jeon Kim and Sun Ju-an.
Yeah, there have been a lot of good scores so far, but majority of players are just taking it easy, being patient.
So Yeon, it's not really a long par 4 downwind. And not a really a difficult par putt coming up, but she definitely would have liked to get that ball a little closer. So after a very lucky par saving, chip shot on the 12th hole, Bomi on the 13th hole. Now Bomi, who's won 21 times on the JLPGA Tour, she is just an incredibly, immensely popular player. Some of the Japanese fans follow her everywhere she goes.
Oh, she is a celebrity superstar in Japan from the Japanese tour. And yeah, from shots like that, and hits it dead straight off the tee most of the time.
Bomi, who got married last winter and has settled down and is really supported by her husband. Oh, and this tee shot is going left, but it's coming back into the fairway.
Okay. Just catches the left edge of the fairway. Good shot.
Yeah, anything more to the left, that definitely would have kicked that ball into the fairway bunker. All right, so Yeon-Roo on the 15th hole, par 4. Looks like she pulled it to the left side of the fairway.
Yeah, the last 3 holes just missing the fairway. But recovers like this, 15 feet for birdie every single time.
Exactly, and she does not have any problem whatsoever, regardless where the ball ends up, either left or right rough. So the rough has not been that of an issue, as you have mentioned. All right, checking the leaderboard again. So Yeon-Roo and Min-Young Lee too. Again, tie for first place to 6 under, but lots of players chasing after the top 2 players, including the world #1 Jung Ko and Se-Young Kim. And Han-Jin Choi at 2 under par, also doing quite well. So we'll be back after these messages. Stay with us.
왼쪽에서 오른쪽으로 불고 있고요. 오늘 15번 홀 오른쪽 공간 5m 정도 있습니다.
조화연 세 번째 샷.
오!
정말 오늘 조하연 선수
예.
아이언 좋습니다.
거의 컴퓨터 같은 아이언샷을 선보였던 조화연.
네.
자, 앞선 김효주와 조정민 선수가 비슷한 위치에 왼쪽으로 갔는데 박민지는 볼 바로 갔습니다.
오, 들어갑니다.
샷이글. 야, 여기서 멋진 샷이글이 나오네요.
공미정 선수의 6번 홀 세컨샷.
오늘 왼쪽 앞핀이고요. 핀보다 오른쪽 공략이 좋습니다. 오, 좋네요.
나이스 샷. 계속 가요. 들어갑니다. 공미정 샷이글. 본인도 몰랐던 것 같아요.
갤러리가 있었다면 굉장히 큰 환호가 나왔을 텐데.
그렇죠.
김아림 17번 홀.
자, 지금 왼쪽 티잉 그라운드에서 행하고 있거든요.
홀 방향.
들어갑니다.
홀인원인가요? 와,
이야.
완벽하게 붙입니다. 홀인원 나올 뻔했는데요. 김리안입니다.
오, 들어가요.
홀인원
또
들어갑니다.
홀인원 대단합니다.
여기서 대단합니다.
완벽했어요.
대단합니다. 이야.
멋진 샷이에요.
이 홀인원 장면이 중계 방송 중에 잡히는 잘 힘들거든요.
힘들죠. 힘들었죠.
축하드립니다.
And we'd like to welcome you back to ChenngNa's Bears Best, where the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open is taking place. Mike came alongside Eddie Bay. We're happy that you joined us today. The first round action of the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open action taking place here. And ChenngNa Bears Best, about 30 miles outside of southwest of downtown Seoul. And let's go to the 14th hole par 5, Sun Juan.
Uphill birdie putt.
Birdie putt. Oh,
Finally.
nicely done.
Yeah, finally got a birdie.
Only the second birdie of the day after a bogey on the 11th hole. And Jeongeun, after that nice birdie, almost holed out from the fairway bunker on the 13th hole. Love to get things going right here.
Yeah. Good shot. Good
That's
tee
a-
shot.
That's a really good shot and a long tee shot too.
Mm-hmm.
Jeon one right here with a score of total score of 16 under par. All right, so Jung Lee too, and comes up short, and that's got to be a missed opportunity for So Young Lee.
Yeah, I think
very difficult 14th hole.
that's right.
All right, Bomi Lee on the 13th hole. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. There's a water hazard on the right side. And she may have been saved by the rough.
I think so. That was a case in point right there. That must have been a complete misclub though. That looked to be at least 15 meters short of the green.
And not only that, I think she may have misaligned herself, because you know there's a lot of trouble on the right side. You've got to get that hazard out of the play. All right, Jung Ko only shot out of the lead. A pair of players.
Another solid iron shot.
And look
Yeah.
at here. Oh, beautiful shot by number one player.
I think she's one of the few players that still employs a foreign caddy. You know, what they typically call the 15th club in your bag. Certainly makes a difference.
Yeah, I think Seyoung Kim also had her caddy flown in from the States. And he went through a 2-week quarantine and has really done well in helping her.
Pretty straightforward bunker shot here. Sounds very clean impact.
Oh, and this has gone into the hazard. Highly uncharacteristic of Hye-jin Choi making that kind of mental mistake.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
I recall Hye-jin 4-putting on one of the holes when she played on the KLPGA Championship a few weeks back. And that really took the air out of her, and unfortunately, that she just wasn't able to get herself back on the right track. And she hits it into the right side water hazard, and that will be a very difficult situation coming up. And this is Soyeon on the 15th hole.
Good looking putt.
A looking putt, and that's in for a birdie.
Not typically one you would expect to make, but yeah, it's a pleasant surprise when you do.
When you least expect it, the birdies start to show up.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, that'll get her into a right frame of mind, and this is Jihyun Kim. Jihyun Oh. All right, needs to come out of that rough, and has. Just on the fringe.
Yeah, it's a good spot to leave for a third shot there. I think can be pretty aggressive on that third shot.
All right, So Yeon-roo currently tied for first place with the outright lead to go 7 under par.
He has a good chance to go in here. Oh my goodness!
How did that ball stay out of the hole for So Yeon-roo? So she'll have to wait until the next hole to take the outright lead. And So-yeon is just quietly having an unbelievable round today, Eddie.
Yeah, when she's up there at the top of the lead, she's not the kind of player that goes back. And here we see looking for a place to drop. Okay, she must have dropped and the ball rolled back, so now she gets to place the ball where it landed.
And even with that spot, that is going to really find herself in a very awkward stance.
Yeah, it's extremely uphill there.
All right, Jihyun Kim.
Staring it down. Great result.
She'll have that for birdie. When you have ruling like that, for the other players, what are some of the things that they have to do to kind of keep their composure while the ruling is made?
Yeah, that's a very difficult thing. You spend so much time when you have to wait for the other player to get through the ruling before you can hit your shot. But just like what Jung Ko there is speaking with her caddy. A little conversation passes the time.
All right, Hye-jin with the penalty shot. She is now facing with a 4 shot.
Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, she has done a pretty good job. And I think she'll be happy to leave herself that for a birdie, for a bogey putt. All right, Jihyun-oh.
Taking dead aim. Okay.
Oh, nicely done.
Very nice. Pin high. Good look at birdie from there.
Don't count her out before the round is over. I would expect that she'll be at least only a shot or two out of the lead, with that short game starting to work. All right, Jung Ko.
Yeah, very good look at birdie here for her. I would expect her to make this.
Oh,
Yes,
and
she
no
does.
doubt about that, Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have 3 players at 6 under par, and still got some holes left for her. So that little bit of weight didn't bother her that much.
Oh, no, it certainly helped her.
Somi Lee, oh, look at that. She held that swing, and as a result, she's going to have a really good opportunity for birdie. Oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
that is very unfortunate. She did very well by coming to that point for her 3rd shot out of that thick rough. That's got to be disappointing for the caliber of Bomi Lee. And taking that little bit of water, taking a little time, making sure that she is ready. Just like the way she really composes herself on the court.
Get over up in the 4.
This is a situation for number 1 here. Okay, not done. See a caliber player like Hana Jeong walk away with a double bogey. And that's one of the reasons why these 12th, 13th, 14th are known as the Bears landmine.
Right, that's right.
All right, birdie putt coming up for Jihyun Kim. Rather a sizable birdie putt.
Yeah, a little right to left.
Oh,
Perfect
done
speed.
nicely.
Yeah.
Read perfectly by Eddie Bay. Right to left putt. And I think Jihyun Kim may have taken a notice.
And good to see a smile on her face there after birdie.
And I think she is probably more happy to get a birdie than any of the holes that she has birdied in all the plays. All right, Jung Ko, par 5. Tee shot's very, very important. And has no problem right down the middle.
Yeah, it's a great spot. With her distance, I think she should get it close to the green.
And another birdie opportunity coming up for Jung Ko on the 14th hole. This is Jeongeun. Oh, just not enough speed there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. She missed an opportunity there, but I'm sure she'll have more coming up soon.
All right, after a bogey on the 13th hole, this is Bomi Lee on the 14th hole, par 5.
Should be okay. Catch the right side.
Bomi never really comes out of her swing. Just very repeatable swing that we have seen over the years.
Yeah, it certainly is. Very repeatable swing, and you know, that's the kind of swing you'd like to see that actually prevents injuries as well.
All right, Jin Choi also fortunate to walk away with a bogey from the 13th hole. Look how high she hits that shot.
Yeah, she definitely swung hard there. Try to eke out a few more yards there to try to get closer.
Now you see that Bomi Lee's tee shot in the back, and
Yes.
where Jin Choi's tee shot, that has got to be at least 30 yards past her tee shot. My goodness. All right, Soyeon on with that beautiful birdie on the 15th hole. Another good-looking second shot.
If it holds the green.
It holds, this is one of the reasons why Bears Best, especially coming down the stretch, is so difficult. Soyeon Roo playing alongside was Soyeon An. Soyeon, who lives in Dallas and trains at Trinity Golf Course, works with the same coach. Coach works with Jordan Spieth. Beautiful second shot, and this will get close. Might have had a little too much spin.
Yeah, that was definitely. Nevertheless, that's in her birdie range there. I think she's going to have a good look at this putt.
All right, So-Mi Lee.
Wow.
Oh, nicely done. It's a good birdie. It had a bit of an up and down round today.
Looks like she's settled down a bit on the back nine, though.
With 2 birdies in the back nine. This is a rather difficult hole coming up. This is the 14th par 5. All right, So-Mi Lee, this is our final group for the day. As we mentioned, Jung Choi has hit her tee shot at least 30 yards past So-Mi Lee. Sliding wind into her face.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's trying to hit hard at all. A very well balanced and simple swing, but for as good a shape as she's in, she could take a little stronger swipe at it.
And she finds herself in a very thick rough on the left side. Will have a very difficult time trying to spin that ball onto the green. With the pin tucked away about 9-yard space in the front and 10 yards, 10 space from the left. All right, Jung Ko. Oh, beautiful shot.
Right at it. Is it enough? Oh.
And she has really left herself a good distance for her third shot.
Wow, look how far down the fairway she is. You weren't kidding. She was, I think, maybe 30, 40 meters ahead of the other 2 players.
Yeah, again, Jung Choi taking some water, trying to calm herself down. It's just another beautiful swing that we witnessed here at the KLPGA. And second shot is 254 meters. That's almost over 280 yards. So she is trying to
Taking it in.
leave herself a good distance. So she'll have a very short distance for her third shot. Jung Choi, who was the best player, the #1 player, won the Bear Trophy equivalent last year, won 4 times on the KLPGA Tour as well as the Order of Merit, and she's just about won everything that KLPGA had to offer in 2019.
Yes, I think so. What a spectacular year she had.
Absolutely. All right, Ji-Yeon Kim. Not too happy with her tee shot. And finds herself on the left side of the rough. That should not be too difficult with the pin on the right side. And this is Soyeon An. trying to go back to back, but just wasn't able to do that. Settle for a par there.
Yeah, that's, I think she'll be happy with that par, though, from just off the back of the green.
Now, before the tournament started, everybody had mentioned how long this golf course was going to be, and it was a little over 6,900 yards, and one of the longest longest golf course that the players have ever played on the KLPGA Tour.
Yeah, that certainly is long for typical golf courses here.
And one of the reasons why she has been really doing well is because she has been able to find that fairway, 91% accuracy, and has just pumped that number up a little bit with that long tee shot. Hana Jeong has lost a stroke again and would like to get a birdie here.
Oh,
She has just a really happy-go-lucky attitude and bubbly personality. Would love to see her around a little longer.
certainly would. She's definitely an asset for the women's tour here in Korea.
She had a great career on the KLPGA Tour, moved on to the LPGA, won several times, has decided to come back to KLPGA. One of the few players that have made the transition and has done a very good job. And this is Sunwoo Bae at the 18th hole. Keeping it steady at 1 under par, and that downhill putt. And it is finding the bottom of the hole.
Wow, what a putt.
All right, Sunwoo Bae. Lots of bogeys, but also lots of bogeys to go along, birdies to go along with it. All right, Jung Ko, her third shot. She is throwing darts here, Betty.
Yeah, certainly is. I wouldn't expect that to be any worse than that. And this is going to be a very interesting shot here from the rough. Whether or not she'll be able to hold the green. That ball looks buried.
You got to hit it just enough to make sure you find the green. Looks like she hit it pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's going to be even more difficult in that third shot there.
All right, she's going to have to really dig deep and try to find herself a good chip shot, short game, out of the rough, and Hye-Jin Choi. Got to be less than 70 yards and about 75 meters for her third shot.
Just a flip wedge up in there. And
A lot of spin and ball trickling back a little bit, sitting right there. I have to be a little bit disappointed with that result, Eddie, with her caliber of play.
yeah, from the fairway there, I think she's a little disappointed that wasn't a lot closer.
All right, So Yeon-Roo, another birdie opportunity.
It's a good touch.
Good touch. Good touch.
Oh, that's just didn't catch enough break.
I'm not sure if Min-Young Lee, too, is watching this telecast, but she has got to be holding her breath every time So Yeon-Roo takes the birdie putts. All right, Jian Kim out of that thick stuff. Will she be able to hold that green with her second shot? And as expected, that ball just runs away from her. A delicate chip shot there, Eddie.
Yeah, that's another one of those short shots that was going to require a big swing.
All right, defending champion Daeun Lee, also out of the rough, but a little closer than Jihyun Kim too.
Yeah, this lie doesn't look too bad though. You see more than half the ball sticking up there. So I expect her to be able to put some spin on the ball.
The players have had an opportunity to practice here at ChenngNa Bears Best. They know coming into this week that the Korea Golf Association was going to set this golf course as hard as they can. A little over 110 yards, second shot.
Sounded like clean contact. Certainly was.
But still runs away from her and rolls into the thick rough.
That's a much more manageable chip shot, though, from the back of the green.
And we find Jin-sun Han with her fourth shot off the green. And not a bad chip shot there.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Though she will lose a shot there, still she can save that bogey putt. Will walk away with a 2 under par for the tournament. And this is just amazing how far Jeongeun has hit. She has passed at least 40 meters of Jung Lee and Jihyun Kim too.
That's amazing, isn't it? From such a small frame to hit it that far.
Nice contact.
Oh, great shot.
Great shot there. All right. That would be a nice birdie opportunity for Jihyun. Oh. All right, walks away with a bogey and 2 under par for the tournament. There's a uneventful front 9, but the back 9 has been up and down day.
That's right.
All right, so Jung Lee has won once so far here in 2020 season. This is a good shot. It's getting very close. And I think she has reserved the birdie putt coming up on the 16th hole.
Indeed she has. That's a great shot.
And finally we get to 17th hole, par 3. Soyeon on the tee. And has elected to go with a 6-iron. 178 meter. That is a very long one.
It looks like she's aiming way left.
Nicely done. Might trickle back. No, it'll get stuck in that little apron. All right, Soyeon Roo also currently tied for first place with Min-young Lee 2, finished early in the morning. And Min-young Lee 2 with the birdie on the 9th hole, which was for 18th hole. Turned in a 66, 6 under par. Soyeon Roo has had a very clean scorecard. 6 under par, 6 birdies with no bogeys. That sounded very nice.
Yes, yeah, it's right at it. Very good shot. Look at that.
All
Again,
right,
right in that 12-foot range.
That's a very good shot, and I think she'll have a rather easy birdie putt coming up the hill. And this is one of the holes that people tend to pull left quite a bit. Hana Jeong, who's not had a really good day, playing alongside with Soyeon Roo. Hana played on the LPGA Tour with Soyeon for quite a few years before coming back to Korea. That
looking
also
good
looks
too.
pretty good too.
Yeah.
All right, and this will be a little bit downhill, side hill putt, but still we'll have a good chance for a birdie. let's take it back to the 15th hole. That is going to be a treacherous chip shot, Eddie.
Yeah, she's got the club face wide open, taking a big swing. Okay.
And this is about as good as she could do from there.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
What a great imagination out of that, and great execution for Jihyun Kim.
Smiling because she knows she got away with it.
And she definitely likes that, and she feels like she is walking a thin ice. All right, Diane Lee. She was off the green with her second shot. Let's see where she ended up with her third shot. Looks like she has a sizable par putt coming up. And Jeongeun, who hit the furthest tee shot on the 15th hole, is waiting for her birdie putt coming up, but not before Diane Lee trying to save a par. Eddie, this looks to be like a bit of a downhill putt.
Yes, I think so. This is a little bit left to right. She's probably going to be looking about a ball outside the left edge. But again, the important thing here is speed. You got to get the speed right.
Yeah, the stimpmeter running almost at about 13.5 today. Could be 14, and will be very, very fast by the time we get to the moving day. This is for par.
Catches the left
and
edge.
has done it. Great save. And everybody is just having that sigh of relief.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Jung Ko currently tied for the lead along with two other players. Oh, where did that putt go?
Yeah, she started the ball left and it just stayed left. Maybe a misread, or yeah, it's unfortunate. That was a very makeable putt.
All right, birdie putt coming up for Jeongeun after that beautiful tee shot. Oh, how many times has she done that today?
Yeah.
Another lip out, and she's already won once here at the ChenngNa Bears Best for the Korea Women's Open title. She knows that she has to stay patient.
Yeah, it'd be good for a caddy to remind her that this is just first day and she's got a lot of golf left to play.
Remains a 3 under par for the tournament. Just biting her tongue. Choi would love to get that shot back. And she has.
Very nice.
So a nice little bounce back. 3 birdies and a bogey. This is one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of Choi. Boy, folks, that's about as good as you can do from where she was. And knows it. So on the 17th hole. Long birdie attempt. As she hit it.
No, it's a great effort from where she was. When your left foot is below your right foot by that much, it's hard to keep your balance and to maintain a true putting stroke. So, yeah, I think she's going to be very happy with this.
As the day goes by, the green will get a little bit slower, but we just not have seen that with these greens on ChenngNa Bears Best.
Yeah, not yet. It's still very, very quick.
And downhill putt has been absolutely treacherous. All right, this is Bomi Lee to try to save a par to remain at even par, and she's done it nicely.
Yeah, very good putt.
And that's a good save. always smiling. That's one of the reasons why she's called Smile Queen. Well, we're getting tired of saying this. Another birdie putt coming up for So Yeon-roo. And again, we're also, it's heartbreaking to see her putt just so tantalizingly moving a little bit left or right, just on the edge. They're still tied with two other players, Jung Ko, number 1 player in the world, and Jung Lee too. She's making that note. And just look at the way she is just taking those notes, how that ball moved, where that ball was moving.
Yeah, she's sort of projecting where the pins were going to be for the remaining 3 days. So
When you look at her swing, it just doesn't look like she is a long hitter, but when that ball hits the fairway, and she has not missed at any fairways except once. Eddie, let's take a look at her swing.
yeah, you're going to see a huge X factor position here. She loads the club with the wrists, huge wind up, and I like the angle of her right leg. She's very, very planted, and is what you call loaded. So as soon as that left hip gets out of the way, everything releases into the ball. So for a player of that height, I think to maximize your power, this is the move to emulate.
And the way she just really turns almost flat through the follow through is quite interesting and unique with her swing style. Another player who has just a dynamic swing is our defending champion Jung Lee.
Yeah, talk about an explosive swing. Yeah, she very explosive.
That is just a great swing. And I know it ended up a little bit to the right, but she really is also able to maximize her frame. This is Yeti No on the 18th hole with her 3rd shot out of the bunker. And just misses pulling it out. She'll have that for a par. Remain at 1 under par, and that's been a long day for her. A very young player. Must have been a unique and difficult experience for her to try to play under such a trying condition. This is Bomi Lee after that's saving another good par on the 14th.
Yeah, I don't expect that ball to stop there. That was that's about the best you could have done.
Yeah, when you come out of the rough, it's almost 100% guarantee the ball will fly and will run away on a very, very hard concrete-like green. All right, this is Jung Ko, our co-leader, at 6 under par. And will it stop? Ball will, and I thought that ball will actually roll back, and that's going to be a very difficult birdie putt.
Yeah, a little bit over the hill and then downhill. That's going to be tough.
All right, Min Sun Kim 5. Whoa. That comes up woefully short. Well, we mentioned that she's always had issues with her putting game. Now, we did say that she was really good with a long putt, but we'll have to take that back. Let's go back to the 15th hole. Hajin Choi with her 2nd shot coming up.
Oh, very nice shot.
I just love the way Hajin Choi plays. Even after a bogey, I think she has done nicely to come back with a birdie on the 14th, and now she's got herself another birdie putt coming up, almost the tap in range. All right, Jeongeun. There's a bit of a water hazard on the right side. You got to be careful with that, but no issues.
Yeah, very nice. It's very interesting the way she cut off the swing after impact. Like she's
And-
trying to keep it low.
And the only thing that she really has not been able to figure out is her putting. Difficult par putt coming up. That really would put a little damper in her game for the day, but still a level par, not too bad for this young lady. Pairs of bogeys and pairs of birdies to go along. All right, Jung Lee. See that water hazard on the right side. Anything leaking out to the right, that water hazard will come into play. That's a good distance control there, Eddie.
Yeah, from the rough, I think that's very good. She'll have a very good look at birdie from there.
He's just a solid all-around player. And has not really been able to get her game going in 2020 season, as Jeongeun Kim has. Didn't go as far as she would have. See the flag indicating the wind is blowing quite a bit.
Yeah, which is very typical for that region. I think the wind generally picks up in the afternoon.
All right, long 18th hole finishing hole. It's a hole that really posed a lot of difficulty, but not for So-Yeon Roo, who's currently ranked in the top 20 and also tied for first place with a 600 par score. Set herself up for this shot here, Eddie.
Yeah, it looks like she's taking it up. The rough is growing, the grain is against her, so she's going to have to take a swing here. And she did a good job.
As she is a veteran, knows what to do out of that thick rough. And the experience really comes into play on this type of shot, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely it does. You're not going to have to guess of what the ball's going to do. You have to be very aggressive and yet have a delicate touch. So,
and although Bomi Lee has not really posted a low number, she's been able to really steady her ship and has done so far a good job in controlling her game. And we mentioned that Jung Ko had ended up with a very peculiar position for her birdie putt.
yeah, just ahead of her and to the right, there's a little knob in the green there that she's going to have to putt over. So judging the speed is going to be very difficult.
And just picking the right line is really at a premium, isn't it?
That's right.
All right, Jung Ko coming up for a birdie putt to go 7 under and for the outright lead.
Oh, wow.
I had given her about almost 20% chance of making that putt, but boy, she did a good job with that. Now birdie putt coming up for Jeongeun Kim.
Did she hit it?
It's not been her day. All right, So-Yeon on second shot. It's going to be a long second shot. Almost about 190 yards. Oh, has done very nicely.
Yeah, what a shot that was.
Going Going up the hill with that elevated green with the wind in your face. I think that was a very good execution.
Yeah, the ball landed very, very softly.
Oh,
Okay.
nicely done, Bomi. I should be very happy with that par. Just keep on steadily moving along with the pars and birdies mixed. And Choi talking it over with the Jung Ko, asking her to move her ball mark. And I think she was trying to make sure that she did not walk in the line of Jung Ko. And again, she's taking some water break between. And Choi, after that bogey on the 13th hole, has come back nicely with a birdie on the 14th, and now try to get a back-to-back birdie here on the 15th hole to go 3 under par. All right, nicely done.
Okay, now yeah, that's a nice result, but boy, she took her a long time to take that stroke.
Well, that definitely gave Jung Ko, the #1 player, an opportunity to do a little bit of stretching in between.
It certainly did.
All right, So Yeon Ryu for a second shot on the final hole for her. With an iron. That's another good contact.
Yeah, moves through the ball so well.
And that would be a downhill putt for her, but and I think she'll be very happy with that result. And finally, par putt coming up for Jung Ko.
It did break a little bit more at the start, did it?
All right, tugging that putt over with her caddy. All right, Jeon O. Will she find the bottom of the cup in this? And she
Finally,
has.
what a great putt.
So after all those misses, she has finally been able to find that birdie.
Brings a smile to her face.
Good to see her get that birdie finally. All right. Checking the leaderboard again, Jung Ko along with So Yeon Ryu and Min Lee too at 6 under par. But we have Ji-hyun Oh and Se-young Kim along with Hee-jung Lim, the second-year player in the KLPGA, 4 under par at their hot on their heels. All right. Stay with us as we continue to bring actions from the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open.
볼에 아마 기대 왼쪽을 3, 4야드 왼쪽을 봐야 될 겁니다.
오, 들어갈 뻔했어요. 류현주 7번 아이언 끊어쳤는데요. 뒤쪽
멀로 내려요.
넘으면 안 되는데요.
내려오죠.
아, 경사 탔어요.
네, 내려왔어.
이거 좋은데요.
붙었어요.
들어갈 뻔도 합니다.
이야, 이게 들어가 버리지. 이 홀도 아까 그 2번 홀과 거의 비슷한 그런 경사입니다.
경사를 따라서 홀 방향 계속 내려갑니다.
들어가요.
들어갑니까? 아, 정말 멋진 샷을
네.
보여줬습니다, 조정민. 이소영의 티샷.
자,
자,
내려옵니다.
다가 다시 홀
이야,
방향으로
이거 가네요.
내려옵니다.
스피드 붙어요. 붙어요.
탄력 받았고요.
붙어요.
홀 방향 떨어지나요?
야, 이것도
쉽네요. 이거 기가 막혔네요 정말.
오, 잘 나왔는데요. 오, 들어가시죠.
오, 들어갔어요.
이글.
어제 오늘 이어서 이 홀에만 4타를 줄이네요. 경기 내용이 조용하게 진행돼 오다가 유연한 선수의 저 벙커샷 하나로 다소 불을 붙이네요.
And welcome back. We're on the tee with Jung Ko on the 16th hole. And a great tee shot it is. Straight down the middle and long. And here we take a look at Jung Ko's swing. And what a big difference she's made in the offseason, bulking up and getting stronger in her lower body to create this X factor. Beautiful wind up, delivery right into the slot. Clears the left hip out of the way beautifully and just lets the club fly. I think she's gained a lot more distance here from last year's driving distance.
And this is So-Yeon Roo coming up for a birdie putt on the final hole of the 18th. And that seems to be a little bit tentative.
Yeah, that was downhill all the way. I think she had a good read, but not quite enough speed.
All right, let's go back to the 17th hole, the par 3. And after finally getting that birdie on the 15, Jihyun Oh coming up for a tee shot. So rather sizable par 3. Measuring at 178 meters, she has elected to go with a 5-iron. Just 2 shots off the leaders.
Oh, she's staring it down. Oh, what a shot.
That's a beautiful shot. And with a couple putts here and there dropping, she could have almost been as low as 7 under par here, Eddie.
Yeah, what a round could have been, but don't count her out for the rest of the week. Looks like she's got all parts of her game working pretty well.
All right, Jian Kim 2. Just only 1 under par for the tournament, but her game could have been much worse. Looks like she's pulled a little bit.
Yeah, it's heading left.
And I think she's very fortunate to be on the green. Got a sizable putt coming up. And So-Yeon On with an excellent second shot from the fairway with the hybrid club. And both of these players coming out short. Just having a little difficulty trying to figure that out here, Eddie.
Yeah, I think they both underestimated the downhill slope there. They thought it was going to be a lot faster than it really was, because visually it looks downhill.
All right, back to 17th hole, our defending champion, Jung Lee. And has elected go a little left to right. Ball flight.
Oh!
Oh, and just flies over the hole.
Wow, 2 great shots there.
2 great shots indeed. All right. Jeongeun also having that excellent ball flight, and Jeongeun has really hit some balls well today, Eddie.
She certainly has.
Hana Jeong also for birdie. Come on, get that birdie and walk away with a good feeling. Golf is just a cruel game. That might have been the best putt that she put on, and she's probably putting it out and saying, I got to get out of here as fast as I can.
Yeah, a bit of a struggle today with a string of bogeys there, but I expect her to come back strong tomorrow.
You could never count her out, and she could really get on fire and really go low. All right, Bomi Lee on the 16th holes.
Leaves herself a tough with the ball up against the apron like that. That's going to be tough to chip.
Yeah, it might have been better. Maybe the ball would have gone in the hand, that
Quite possibly, yes.
rough. So on.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Not a bad way to start the round.
No, not for the Korean Women's Open. And Soyeon, who finished top 5 in the qualifying school last year on the KLPGA, has finally made her come back after a 3 years hiatus down in the minor tour. Good to see her come back and doing nicely. Soyeon, nice.
Nice save.
Well done, Soyeon. Look at that scorecard. 6 birdies with no bogeys.
And that could have been a lot lower. I think she had so many near misses there and relatively short putts. Oh, she could have been a course-breaking round today.
And Soyeon, we'll expect her to go low tomorrow again. And Choi also trying to find a couple more birdies before she's finished with her round. Wow, she took a very a risky flight and going over that right side of the hazard.
Yeah, that was an aggressive line that she took there, but thinking the wind was going to help her a little more than it did.
All right, co-leader Jung Ko. Look how high she hit that shot and has done nicely.
Very nice.
And this is the reason why Jung Ko is not only tied for the lead, but #1 player in the world.
That's no surprise.
It's just a joy watching these ladies do what they can do on this golf course, which is just a very difficult setup. All right, Jeon Kim. Long birdie putt. How far do you think this will be, Eddie?
Oh, that's a good 20 meters, I think.
That long.
Not one you expect to make, but just lag it up there to get close, which she's done.
Bad job there. All right, so Jung Lee. She's another feisty player. Well, let her hand go there, but I don't think it'll be that trouble. Oh, and she pulled it way left. It will stay on the green.
Yeah, I think that's all right. I think she got away with one there.
And I know she looks like the way she set up was trying to hit far right of the pin, but pulled it quite a bit to the left, but was lucky enough to stay on the green. Now back to 17 for our defending champion Diane Lee.
Yeah, big swing from left to right here. Okay, she started on a good line. Stay up.
Started on the good line. Still an excellent attempt. And I think her playing partner Jeon Oh might have taken some notes on that putt.
Yeah, quite possibly. Definitely went to school there. Okay, here's a difficult chip shot here.
For Bomi.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what you expect to happen. I mean, it's never going to be clean contact there. It's always going to be a little bit thin. So the ball's going to run away from you.
Let's see if Jeon Oh took some good notes from Diane Lee's putt. And it's just to go 5 under, only a shot out of the lead. And has she hit the line? And oh, that is just absolutely injustice there.
Yeah, it's not a very easy putt. There's a lot of break downhill.
Jeon Oh knows how to attack this golf course. Has won here, won the Korea Women's Open. Imagine Choi. 4 under par.
Wow, what a good putt.
She was that close of going 4 under par. Even after finding water hazard on the 13th hole par 4, she still was able to manage a birdie on the 14th and 15th and was that close of getting a back-to-back-to-back birdie.
Yeah, it's a true championship caliber player with a lot of experience. She's never going to let one bad missed shot affect her emotions.
Well, in this group, I think we have the #1 player in the world. We have #1 player from last year from the KLPGA Tour, and literally #1 player on the JLPGA Tour from a few years ago, Bomi Lee. And this is for the outright lead for Jung Ko. Has
Nice.
she done it? Nicely done. All right, 7 under par, as she is now sitting all alone at the top of the leaderboard. The #1 player is back, and everyone should take notice. And realize that this golf course is not going to be any issue when it comes to the #1 player in the world. It's got a very difficult par putt coming up for Bomi Lee. And she was very unfortunate with her second shot, where the ball ended up, Eddie.
Yes, that was just an unfortunate roll where it ended up there against the collar of the green, but or collar of the rough. But this is a pretty straightforward putt.
All right, she'll end it up with a bogey there, and we'll go 1 over par for the tournament. We still got a couple holes left. And she has dropped down to tie for 72nd place. And have another look at the beautiful ChenngNa city. And have another look, and we have a new leader, Jung Ko, all alone at top is 7 under par, with Min-young Lee and So-yeon Roo finishing at 6 under par. Stay with us as we continue to bring you the first round action of the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. We'll be back.
공동 3위에 올라 있는 조하연 선수입니다. 오,
와우, 좋아요.
조하연 선수에게는 굉장히 또 뜻깊은 코스이기도 하겠죠. 지은이 선수의 어프로치. 오, 빨려 들어갔어요. 지은이 선수 엄청난 샷이 나왔습니다. 이제 단독 2위로 순위가 끌어올라갑니다. 지은이 선수도 오늘 엄청난데요. 오, 들어갔어요. 김소희.
나이스 샷.
엄청난 샤딩을 성공. 자, 한진선 선수입니다. 현재 공동 2위에 올라 있고요. 오늘 분위기는 굉장히 좋습니다.
오늘 핀 위치는 왼쪽 뒤쪽인데요. 언덕을 다 넘어왔는데
오, 들어갔어. 한진선 홀인원. 이야, 와, 홀인원으로 단숨에 단독 1위로 올라갑니다. 인주현 선수 8번 홀, 8번 아이언. 오, 아주 위협적인 샷이었습니다.
언덕을 올라가나요? 다시
다시
내려올 수 있을 것
내려오나요?
같아요.
내려옵니다. 자, 그리고
이야,
들어가나요? 들어갑니다. 인주현 홀인원. 우선 샷 자체도 굉장히 위협적이었는데 경사에 따라서 볼이 다시 내려옵니다.
저게 또 기가 막히게 퍼팅 라인을 제대로 탔어요.
예.
And we're back to ChenngNa Bears Best, where the first round action of the Korea Women's Open is taking place. Mike came alongside with Eddie Bay, and we're very happy that you have joined us. And as we continue to bring you live action from the ChenngNa Bears Best, located about 30 miles southwest of downtown Seoul, and we are now taking you to the 17th hole, the par 3.
The long par 3, it's a little bit downhill and the wind facing the player. I think the typical shot selection here is pretty much either a 5 or 6 iron.
And our new leader, Jung Ko, has decided to go with a 5 iron on the 17th hole.
All right, takes a safe play, center of the green.
And with her putting touch today, she's a threat to hole up from just about anywhere on the green. This is Jung Lee back on the 18th hole. Long birdie opportunity, but should be happy with a par. Maybe not, maybe not. And that is a beautiful birdie putt for Jung Lee.
Wow, never expected, but wow, what a thrill that is. What a great birdie putt that was.
And that might be the first birdie that we have seen on this hole since we have come on the air. Back to 17th hole, Bomi Lee after that bogey on the 16th. A bit unfortunate. Just going way right.
Yeah, that's something that I've seen in her swing over this over her round today. You know, she's not a lot of force through impact.
I'm not sure whether she has hurt herself, but she has been coming up quite a bit short.
Yeah, short and pushed out to the right, as if she's not letting the club release, or something's going on there for sure. She's going to have to work that out after the round.
And I think this is the second time we've seen a person taking several clubs before deciding to go with one of the clubs. What are the players doing there, Eddie, when they're taking both of those clubs and just kind of, you know, getting the feel for which club to go with?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Is they want to have the club in their hand as they're approaching the spot where they're about to play, and sometimes that gives them a little bit more instinctive feel which club to go with.
All right, Jin has decided to go with a 6-iron.
Very aggressive impact. I like that. Her action through the ball. Oh. Turned out rather well, actually.
Boy, she's been taking some tiger line, as we call a very aggressive line. And except for Bomi Lee, everyone's on the green. And this is the final group. We've seen all the tee shots on this hole. And we've seen quite a few shots going way left on the bunker on the left side.
Yeah, it's an interesting shot dispersion considering the length of this hole.
But a lot of those shots have come up short of the green. This is Jeongeun on the 18th, second shot, and it's going way right.
Yeah, I think that was just a straight up miss hit.
And not only was it short, but also ended up in the thick rough. Currently at 4 under par. Could well have been 7 under par and tied for Jung Ko had the putts been able to find the bottom of the cup. And Jihyun Kim, the winner of the Korea Women's Open 2017. Also trying to bring in right to left. And that's going to be a very sizable downhill putt for her. That will be a long putt coming up. Diane Lee, the shortest of the three, but yet the longest. Wow, has only 133 meters.
Yeah, it's amazing.
For
isn't
her
it?
second shot. That's a good looking swing. Oh. Finds the green side bunker. And I think she took a dead aim for that shot.
I think she did. That was a very aggressive line and just came up a little short.
Bomi has about 25, maybe 30 yards. Chip shot coming up.
Okay, well, not too bad.
And I think she is just kind of murmuring to herself, saying, well, it's been that kind of a day.
Yes.
All right, quickly back to 18th hole. There's Jeongeun for a third shot. Not a bad result, Eddie, but would love to have that ball a little closer to the hole, right?
Yeah, you know, the important thing is she didn't short shot herself on that shot. She missed in the right spot, so you can't be too disappointed with the result of that chip.
All right, here's our leader, Jung Ko. Will she be able to go 8 under par?
If she hit it, just
Yeah,
few
just
more.
enough, not enough pace, and maybe the green has slowed down just a little bit. All right, good par, good save. Still leading by a shot over Jung Ko by Soyeon Roo, and oh, she did not go in the bunker. Or oh, a very awkward lie for Diane Lee.
Yeah, she's got to be careful here.
Pops it up, and now she'll have about almost a 12-footer downhill side hill coming up for a par-saving putt.
Yeah, it's so hard to judge distance from that type of a lie.
And again, Choi taking an aggressive line with her tee shot. Birdie putt coming up. Oh, I thought she made it. Wow. It's just a good stroke. Jin has remained very steadily, even though she's had some issues. Her second shot in the early going. Now this is the group with Jeongeun Kim, Jeon Oh, and Daeyeon Lee. And Jeon Kim has a long birdie putt coming up, as we saw. Now, what is she doing? She's looking both ways, sideways.
Yeah, generally when the players are looking at a putt from the side, they're typically wanting to see the slope. And if it's downhill or uphill and how much downhill, uphill it is. Because for this length of putt, you know, that slope difference is going to make a big difference in your speed control.
Now, I'm not going to say that she'll be happy with the par, because that's exactly what I said when So-Young Lee putted and made that putt going away and finished with a 3 under par. So I'm going to say that Jihan has a good chance for a birdie.
Yeah, this is a two-tiered putt here. I think it's pretty flat the first 10 feet and then downhill to the right. Okay, there you go. And here's the downhill. This is where it gets downhill.
Yeah,
but
and I don't think so. And I think with the putts that we have seen before from other players, the putt tends to kind of flatten out a little bit as it gets closer to the hole.
Certainly did that time. That's...
All right, the final group is on the 18th hole. And our leader, Jung Ko, has shown how it's done on the ChenngNa Bears Best. Everyone had thought that this golf course was going to truly test the player's ability with thick rough and the length that we have not seen so far on the KLPGA, but these ladies had no problem. But that tee shot is going way left, but shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, this 18th fairway is pretty wide. It's pretty forgiving.
All right, this will be a long, lengthy par putt for Daeyeon Lee, and
Just left it out to the right the entire way. Just never was on line.
And I think had her second shot ended up in a bunker, I think she definitely would have been able to put a lot more spin and be able to get that ball a little closer.
Yes, that's right.
All right, Hye-jin Choi. And with her distance, I'm sure she'll be able to get a short club in her hand. And look at that. You see Jin Ko's tee shot on the left side of the TV screen, and she has blown by her at least 20 yards. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to walk away with a birdie on this hole for Bomi to leave with an even par?
Okay, it's the first swing that I've seen her actually aggressively move through impact.
And be able to fire that left side.
Indeed.
All right, the final group has teed off on the 18th hole as we continue to bring you live action from the ChenngNa's Bears Best, but we go to the green on the 18th. And Jeon Kim, and just missing on the right edge.
That's unfortunate.
So she was the only one who found the green on regulation, but ended up with a bogey. And the 3-putt on the last hole is just really got to be painful.
Yeah, that leaves a bad taste in your mouth for after the round. Yeah, you really don't want to let that set the stage for tomorrow's round.
All right, Giono. And beautiful
Excellent.
par saving putt on the 18th hole. So after a disappointing bogey on the 10th hole, she's been able to find a couple more birdies along the birdies in the front nine, and 4 under par, not bad for a bit of a difficulty with those birdie putts that she just was eluding her through the whole day.
Yeah, but that's certainly going to give her confidence for the rest of the second, third, and fourth rounds, because now she knows that the score is out there. Those low scores and those birdies are definitely attainable.
And again, leaderboard, Go Jin Young all alone at top is 7 under par after 17 holes. We'll be back after these messages for the Bears Best, ChenngNa Bears Best for the first round action. All right, Soyeon Roo from the fairway bunker on the 13th hole, and look at this result. This is the reason why it's under par by Jung Lee too, and she has done it.
Wow, what a great putt.
Got right lead to go 7 under par.
That's a good chance to go in here. Oh my goodness.
How did that ball stay out of the hole? This is Soyeon Roo coming up for a birdie putt on the final hole of the 18th. Soyeon, nice. Well done, Soyeon. Look at that scorecard. 6 birdies with no bogeys.
And that could have. Par 3 12th there with a par.
Jung Ko, let's see how she does it here.
Very nice shot. Very well played.
To spin that ball as much. All right, this is Jung Ko. And
Very nice birdie.
expect anything different?
Another solid iron shot.
And look at here. Oh, beautiful shot by number 1 player.
I think she's one of the.
Ko.
Yeah, very good look at birdie here for her. I would expect her to make this.
Oh, no doubt about that, Eddie. Oh, so we have 3 players at 6 under par. Jung Ko, her 3rd shot. And she is throwing darts here, Betty.
Yeah, sure.
Jung Ko. Yeah,
Nice.
she done it. Nicely done. All right, 7 under par, and she is now sitting all alone at the top of the leaderboard. And we're back to the 18th hole. Bomi Lee with the 2nd shot. Bonner Groove, Bomi Lee alongside with Jung Ko. Oh, this gone had way left and into the left green side bunker. That's been that kind of a day for Bomi Lee.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it left here on the 18th hole, because the pin placement is so close to the left side. That's going to be a very difficult up and down.
So this will again test her ability to spin that ball as much as she can coming out of that bunker to keep that ball anywhere within about, I would say, 15, 20 feet of the hole. And Jung Ko, our current sole leader, at 7 under par on this very treacherous setup, nearing 7,000 yards for the ladies. 154 yards. The greens sitting a little elevated. She has done pretty good, and it's a bit unfortunate that she wasn't able to really keep that ball below the hole.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive play, bringing it in from the right side like that, which is the correct line. That's the way she should have hit it, but yeah, that's it's going to be a long putt for birdie.
All right, Choi has consistently been out driving both Bomi Lee and number 1 player in the world, Jung Ko. Would love to walk away with a birdie for Choi.
Just great rhythm. I love that tempo.
And
Okay, good shot.
good result too. And the ball looked like it was trying to move a little bit, but stays on that top ridge.
Yeah, I think they were expecting the wind to be a little more helpful than it was.
And this golf course sitting relatively flat surface. 6,930 yards. Now, not all the distance will be used during the tournament, but with that thick rough, especially around the green, is one of the more difficult tests for the players. And Jung Ko has done so well, and we had expect her to do as well as she has done today with the score of 7 under par.
Yeah, flawless scorecard. All birdies and pars, no bogeys. Love to see that.
Another beautiful look at the Bears' Best Golf Club's clubhouse. And today, you know, we had 9 past champions of the Korea Women's Open playing, and that might be the very first time we've ever seen 9 past champions all playing at the same time.
Yeah, that is very unusual and very exciting at the same time. What a pleasure it is to be able to witness this. And it's a bit odd to see a championship caliber event like this with such an empty parking lot. Typically, you would see the entire, with the fans and with staffers, it'd be full, but it's a bit surreal.
You know, can you imagine if the gallery were to be allowed to come in and witness these players? I mean, this is just a dream come true for a lot of the fans had they been able to come and enjoy this tournament. But unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the gallery is still not able to come in and watch. But we're still happy that you've joined us today, and we're coming down to the final hole and trying to finish out the final hole here. And Jung Ko has not disappointed the fans or the viewers. Bomi Lee, unfortunately, has had a very tough day. Was doing pretty well, saving pars here and there, but unfortunately, she's just not been able to get her game going.
Yeah, it becomes a very long day when you have to get up and down from everywhere, from every single hole. Yeah, it can be very taxing on you mentally.
All right, from the greenside bunker, Bomi Lee has a sizable bunker shot. Oh, has done it nicely.
Yeah, very good shot from there. About 4 or 5 feet left.
Even though Bomi Lee is having a very difficult day, I think she is really enjoying her day. Be in the group alongside with Jung Ko and also with Choi. Bomi, who played on the KLPGA Tour and moved on to JLPGA with Sunju An and Jie Shin. And GA, who's not in the field and had won this tournament back in 2008. Now Jung Ko is looking at a downhill. Now from this distance and this view, you can really appreciate the elevation that they're faced with. Eddie, this appears to be a rather sizable downhill putt.
Yeah, very similar to the few previous players in the same spot almost. Downhill for about the first 30% and flattens out towards the hole.
Now we saw Jihyun Kim coming up very short.
Yeah, this needs more speed, more speed.
Oh, and a great touch. So she'll have that for a par to finish a 7 under par for the tournament and a overnight lead. The first round action of the 34th Korea Women's Open. And Choi continuing to stay hydrated, drinking a lot of water on the last few holes and setting up for her birdie putt. Now from this angle, Eddie, does she have a more downhiller than Jin-young?
I don't think so. I think from this angle, I think it's pretty flat. I think that's almost at the base of that initial hill, that slope. Just get the pace right, find the right speed.
It appears to be a bit of a double break. Oh, and it's going left and stays left, but I think she'll be happy to walk away with a par there. And the last hole, scoring average is 4.28, so it's one of the toughest par 4 on the ChenngNa Bears Best. Has been ranked the second hardest hole, second hardest par 4, and a second hardest hole on ChenngNa Bears Best.
Yes, in terms of the distance, the overall distance of the hole, and the fact that the players are typically hitting middle to long irons into this green is making it very, very difficult.
Now, on any given year, we would have a huge gallery stand all along the 18th green. But unfortunately, because of the COVID-19, we are not seeing that. We're hoping that we can welcome the gallery back to the tournament. Now, this is an uphill par putt for Bomi.
Very nicely done.
Very nicely done. Just so happy to see that par. It's been a long day for Bomi, but still walks away with a 1 over par. All right, Jung Ko, 7 under par, and she is your leader for overnight for the first round action of the 34th Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. Eddie, give us an assessment of the first round action.
Well, like the leaderboard speaks all about it right there. You've got one player at the very top, and you've got a whole bunch of talented players right behind, 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes behind. So it's going to be an exciting week.
Indeed, it's going to be an exciting week, and we have another beautiful view of the ChenngNa Bears Best. And there's a quiz here, and in Korean it says, all right, the prize winner, first place prize winner's award, how much would it be? I think I know. Eddie, do you know the answer?
So the question is, what is the winning prize money for the first place finisher?
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights of the first round action. And this is Jung Lee too, who at one time was the co-leader with So Yeon-roo along with Jin Young Ko. She turned in a 6 under 66. And look at that beautiful shot. And beautiful birdie on the par 4 on the 5th hole. And we'll take it to par 4, the 9th hole. And this is a hole that you have got to watch. The second shot Jung Lee too did. Watch how the ball reacts once it hits the green. Goes right and left and right and almost in the hole for 2.
Players that played off in the morning really had advantageous weather conditions as there was absolutely no wind on the course.
All right, Jung Lee after that bogey on the 8th. Oh, and a beautiful birdie. And at this time, she was 5 under, but dropped a shot on the 9th to go 4 under par. And she's 3 shots out of the lead. So-Yeon Roo, only 1 shot out of the overnight leader, Jung Ko. And that's the kind of putting day that she had. 4 birdies
In the first 5 holes.
First 5 holes.
Amazing.
Jung Ko showed how that was done. And on the 7th hole, par 3, So-Yeon Roo also had no problem with that putt.
Yeah, an amazing start to her round today. Wow, just on fire from the very beginning.
And for once, thought she was actually going to be able to go double digits. Jung Ko. Oh, almost hold out.
Yeah, what a great shot.
And let's go back to the par 3, 7th hole. Almost from the same point where So-Yeon Roo putted out for birdie.
Yeah, it was a birdie fest between those 2 players.
Yeah, it was a back-to-back-to-back birdie from 4th through 7th hole. And that from here, we saw that Jeon Ho almost hold out from the fairway bunker. And she rolled it in for a birdie. Wow. We have really witnessed some really great shots today, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, these players are putting on a clinic. Iron shots, tee shots, saves around the green, bunker shots. Unbelievable.
And Choi, who really has been long off the tee and has taken full advantage alongside playing with Jung Ko. Great to see her bounce back after that bogey. And Jeon Oh, after so many missed opportunities, finally found the birdie. I love to see the smile on her face. And this is the birdie putt that put her in sole possession. 7 under par. And let's check the leaderboard for the final time. Jung Ko is 7 under 65, but we have some really good players behind her.
Yeah, we have solid players, former champions, rookies of the year in previous years. They're all stacked at the top of the leaderboard. I think any of these players, from -2 to -1 can't be counted out.
Well, alongside Eddie Bay, this is Mike Kim. We are very, very happy that you've joined us today for the first round action. We hope that you can come back and join us again for tomorrow as we bring you the second round action of the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open from ChenngNa Bears Bass. On behalf of all of our staff, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. So long, everybody.